All right, we're gonna have some fun today, okay? I mean, I make all of them, I try to make them all fun, but it becomes very obvious which ones are my favorite and which ones are Today we're gonna have fun, okay? Because I like this one a lot. I gravitate towards this one. Let me show you really quick what we're gonna do, and then we'll chat. Okay, so you take Excy and you put it on a very sturdy surface. I usually do this on my fireplace. Stairs are amazing for this position, okay? It gives you a nice, firm play. It just keeps it nice and firm, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna squat down with our hands, okay? And we're gonna pedal. Okay, and then we're gonna pedal backwards. Now from this position, some other things that we can do is come around, crank the resistance up, and do some curls, switch it, okay? Curls, and then this one, all right? I recently discovered this one, and it's awesome. And I discovered this because I was trying to pull my lawnmower and I couldn't get it started, and I was like, I need some more strength, right, for that one. So you hold on, okay, and we're just gonna go round and round, okay, like we're cranking something. And then I'm not gonna turn around and have my butt in your face. So then we're just gonna come around here, same thing, okay? Look at that, lefty's harder. All right, that's gonna be harder for me. I might have to, let me think about that one. Let me see how bad this is. It's pretty bad, right? I don't know if I can bring myself to do that, so we'll see how it goes. All right, but here we go. Cranking here. Another thing, is coming in this position right here. Get a similar experience when you put it in a top pull, okay? So if you can't find a crank this way, it's very similar, okay? Now the difference here is that we have less stability by having it this way in a tower position, as opposed to using a sturdy surface, okay? But this one can come, you see how I did that, right? So we'll have to figure that one out. Maybe you just do that one on your own, right? Where you can really change sides, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. Let's do this. Let's take the pen out. We'll open it back up. Okay. Just get it on nice, firm. When you're doing this, especially if you're gonna go hard, you wanna make sure that it is nice and stable and away from the ledge, right? Here we go. So I like this one a lot, actually. It's right up there on the top of the list. I think it incorporates so many aspects, okay? Here, from my quads are obviously engaged, okay? My back, and then every single thing I'm doing, okay, is coming through my core and my spine and working all those fine muscles. So, here's what I decided to do. Go 20 minutes, we're gonna do 30-second intervals. I did a post today, right? And we talked about really wanting you to gravitate towards moderate exercise at this time, right? And that is just what research shows to be the best for maintaining our immune system. And going too much of vigorous, right, can be bad for us sometimes. There's conflicting research there, but by and large, too much stress on the body and not enough time to recover is difficult, and we're trying to keep you busy and working every single day. So you'll notice I change everything where I'm not going hard every day. That's just, one, it's not how I like to exercise. I am going for just moderate, move more, sit less, right? Physical activity as opposed to inactivity. That's what we're trying to do, and just distract your mind a little bit from all the chaos of the day, okay? And of this time period in our life. So let's go, okay? Let's do it. We are gonna do a warm up. Okay, so just really quick, I wanna talk to you about a warm up. A lot of times I just jump right into the exercise, and you should always warm up. So to do things upper body, right, we can just take our arms, and arm circles are an amazing way to warm up, okay? So that's a good way. And I should tell, I don't know if you guys can see, I have a huge bruise right here. My husband and I were on this, like, just as you could tell, we're like at home boat talked about I really like and I highly recommend. But we have this like little thing we do to see what the person can't take, or maybe going a little harder than we should, just to make them jump. So I get him in his hamstrings and then his armpit, and he was trying to get me, and it pinched me. So for there again, like I still advocate for the product, obvious, like I love it, but it was a strange way that it pinched me, and it got me really good. So that was like from 3 days ago, and it's still pretty, it's there for sure. So just arm circles, even here. And I'll tell you what, if you are, let's say you've been sitting all day and you want to do something to get your heart rate up, you know, doing something simple like just moving your arms in some way will get your heart rate up, okay? If you learn one thing from Excy, is that your upper body is so neglected, our upper body, right? Our modern way of living, we're here, I call them T-Rex zones, right? We're little dinosaurs, and on our steering wheels, not so much right now, unless you're an essential worker, and bow down, you know, but on our phones too much right now, and, you know, just on our computers, okay? So anything you can do to move your arms is a good warm-up. All right, let's see how this, all right, so, see, even look at that. I'm just sitting there, and by moving my arms, my heart rate's at 94. All right, 64. It is chilly in my house. Oh, I'm inside again today because it's raining. All right, so let's just warm up. Let me make sure I got. So when I use my Apple Watch, I use the hand cycling. All right, so here, I'm just gonna warm up, nice and slow, okay? And I have pretty easy resistance right now. And obviously, you know, with Excy, you can make this as vigorous or as moderate or as leisurely as you want. I mean, this position is hard for leisure, right? Because I'm squatting and that's hard. But, okay, now pushing myself, right? I'm gonna turn my resistance up a little bit, not too much because we have a ways to go, right? And I'm just gonna go and squat down. All right. So 30 seconds can be hard. All right, and then I'm gonna rest. So you can walk around, rest that way, or let's just sit down and kind of rest in those 30 seconds. Whew, okay. I guess what I could do, oh, this is my husband. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause this for a second because I can tell my husband's gonna be texting me nonstop, so we're gonna turn him off. Oh. Now I'm revealing my notifications. If you ever need to do this, stop texting me. Sorry, allow. Turn off notifications and then they can't text you while you're doing it. All right. He knows I'm down here doing this. Like, why text me? Are you guys over? All right, here we go. Okay. Sorry. It's insight. This is, now watch, he'll eventually probably come down. But I'm okay. So a little bit more resistance, gradually increasing. Okay. So the rubber is on here and it's rubbing a little bit, but it's firm. So I'm gonna just keep going. All right, and then rest. Whew. So if you wanna go, right, we do wanna do that moderate. And now I'm doing, like, I can still talk, right? I'm yawning. But when you can get in that moderate pace, right, you can still have a conversation. You know, but then you bump up into make it harder, and then it's harder. I lose my breath a little bit, right? And so I try to weave in and out of moderate to vigorous, and then back and forth, right? But not too hard. Like doing this for 20 minutes without stopping would be really hard. can do. And oftentimes, I will do this. But during this other down period, I'll do some squats. Okay? Now, everybody's different, okay? So you might need to pause or, right, sit down. Because right there, my heart rate's gonna stay up. But I'm still not too high, okay? All right, let's go backwards this time. Woo, okay. So, I'm gonna take a break. My heart rate is, let's see if it jumps. Not too high, okay? 140. Woo! I'm gonna take a rest though because, so 143. It's the resistance that's making me tired, okay? It's, if you have it at an easier resistance, you'll be able to go longer. But I like to do, woo, these quick, intense bursts, and then take a break. Whew. All right, now watch this. I'm gonna turn up my resistance higher, like really high, okay? Squat down, and now here, I'm going slow, and really focusing on strength training, okay? And even if you can, don't jump too high. All right, and now I'm on slower. Now because I'm slow here, let's see. My heart rate's 131 right now. I feel like I could keep going during that slow pace, right? And I have an idea too. Watch this. Let's see if it works. I'm gonna turn this down. All right, so hand here, okay? And this is like we are. Let's make sure we're done. Make sure your hands are out of the way. This is like starting an old school car, right? Woo, that's hard. All right, I just came out with a way to not put my butt in your face. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm kind of modest. And so I'm not into that whole thing. So now we're gonna come this way. Let's see if you guys can see that. Okay, so we're switching sides. Woo! All right, now watch this, okay? Let's see, 135. Now this is harder for me to do on my left. Let's step on this. So, this is the first time I've ever done this position. I literally had this idea from watching the lawnmower and working on the lawnmower. So, what I'm gonna do is, can you see that it's moving? By the way, if you ever want to put your pin in, just look through the hole. Okay. So, putting a pin in either way will keep that more stable. But let's hit that again, right? Woo, that's hard. Okay, look at that, 140. Okay, look at, you know why? It's not something I ever do. Totally using different muscles here. Let's go the other way. You might step on Excy. I don't know if you guys can see my feet. Step on it to keep it nice and firm. I'll switch it around. Woo, that's hard. Okay. 152. Love that. Oops. There's my wrist. Because I think it's fun. All right, so let's see if you can see my feet. I'm stepping on the base, okay? Put your hand here, foot on there, all right? And then let's go this way. There we go. And rest. Woo! Okay. That is awesome. I like that one a lot, actually. I'm going to do it again and really focus on my bicep in reverse. Let's just see. Okay? So here, I'm holding the hand. Man, what am I going to do here? I'm going to come up and come up here and here. Okay? Step on it again. So I just changed. Okay, before I was going here, and now I'm coming to really incorporate that bicep. So, move it back a little bit. Make sure you're always aligned, okay? You're not too close to the edge there. 145. I said this, a lot of times my goal is to get to 160 at least once. That's just my personal goal. We have some people, we just want you to get to 90, 85, right? Above your resting heart rate. Here we go. Woo! Okay. Now, show you another one since we're going hard here. Okay, you can come down, squat, and pedal. Squat, and pedal. Squat, and pedal. Squat, and pedal. And then rest. You know, and sometimes during the rest, again, right? Maybe doing a slow pace. I'm just gonna go nice and slow. And then make the resistance easier again. Okay. Whew. And then here, pedal. Let's go reverse this time and squat. All right. Whew. And then rest. There's always the just rest. All right, next one. We'll go to 160. We'll try. 30 seconds. It's hard to get to 160 in 30 seconds, but it's doable. It's just you gotta go pretty hard. So I like this one. Everybody is going to like something different. And it all depends on what we're willing and able to do, right? And if you're both willing and able, then I want you to try everything you can, okay, that you're able to do, and explore and play and find things you like to do, okay? So, let's go here. Keep going. All right. Woo! Takes a while. sometimes there for the Apple Watch to catch up. Woo. 145. Let's see if it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to go beyond that 30 seconds. All right. Let me show you guys something here. Okay. I'm gonna turn my resistance a little bit, and I'm gonna stand on the end on the bars. Okay. Get your knees out of the way here. Come up and forward. Woo! That for me, I definitely reached into that vigor. Like, I can't talk. But it's a brief, it's a little burst, right? When we have athletes, Olympic champions, right? Paralympic champions who can hold that pace for a long time. I think, I know for them, it's like they have to keep competing. Right now, we're just, or you might be with the athlete. They keep going, Travis, right? Other people. Woo! All right. Let's do the squats again. Higher resistance here, and then squat. Just under 5 minutes. Woo! Breathe here a little bit. This is my preferred way. Everybody's different, and you might hammer the whole time. For me, intervals are fun. It's why the app is so interval centric, and it has been, right? Let's go. Higher resistance. Focus on your core during these things. I don't know if I've mentioned that enough. Ooh, now here's the thing we can do here. Okay, that's too much for me. All right, but come up and do curls. There are way better positions to do curls in. Okay, this isn't one of the best. That's not too bad. Actually, sitting down, show you this way. It's better because you still can't go really high, right? But you can just single arm and come through here, okay? Now, I should say this, okay? Because if you are paralyzed, but you can get to the floor, or you have a spinal cord injury, but you can get to the floor, put something underneath your legs. This is a way that you might explore using Excy, okay? Is you just put it up on the ledge and pedal this way. Get nice and close, but you'll notice you'll be able to get more force this way, okay? But it is another way to take advantage of a ledge. A weight bench, right? Anything that you have. Steers might be hard in this position because they're farther away. Whew. But now, one thing I love about this position is squeezing the shoulders together in the back. This is more like the rowing position, right? When you have it in that position, you can lean back and really engage the core. Good to go. So my husband has, I'm on a cooking strike. 7 days, we're on day 2. And my husband and my son are now cooking. We switched. They were doing the dishes, I've been cooking. I don't like to cook. And I'm like, I don't even know how many days of cooking. It has to be at least 50. So we switched. Last night's dinner, nobody could eat it. But tonight it was amazing. We made a really good dinner. All right, let's go. I gotta get sturdy. Make sure you're nice and sturdy. Now, again, during the rest, you rest your upper body, okay? We come up and do some squats for lower. And let's end it with some ski jumps. Speed skates, I guess you could say. Okay, can't have too much resistance. All right, let's do it. 30 seconds, I got this, right? So here, you gotta really focus on keeping it nice and steady. This is advanced for sure. Whew. There we go. 148. Perfect. Let's look down. See where I'm at. 114. All right. Wow. I love that one. I have a natural bias to some of them. Like the planking one, some people love it. I think it's hard. I do it on occasion, but I do this more. There we go. I'm going to say, great, absolutely, I'll do this again. I'm at home, not watching TV. I can't wait to change that button. Like I'm out somewhere, right? Woo, that's me right there on the go. Or traveling. But nope, tonight I'm at home watching TV. That's where it's going on. All right. I actually do feel a little energized and kind of want to do it again. But I'm not going to. Or I'm not going to do it on here and make you go through that whole thing again. But if you feel like it, go for it, right? All right, we're trying to get, right, that 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, okay? Or that 75 minutes of vigorous, plus some strength training. They want us 2 days. This is from CDC, right, the Department of Health. 2 days of strengthening. Now with Excy, you can do all of that at the same time, right? We can like double dip it all at the same time, which is why I love this device. But there we go. So have a great night. We're coming up on 40 days. Wow. When I started this, it was 50. We were just going to do it for 15. And somehow, here we are. I'm right here with you. And keeping each other busy. And this is keeping me busy too. All right. Have a wonderful night, and we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Something with legs. All right.